Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross-stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today is Monday, August the 4th. It's the first Monday of August. And it's not sweltering hot.
Amen to that.
Last week was really hot.
First half of it was anyway. Second half was nice.
Yeah.
The middle was, I'm drowning.
Tuesday, Wednesday was super hot. Wednesday night it rained. Thursday it rained most of the day.
And rained.
And then Monday we had those storms while we were filming. Tuesday was the hottest day of the week. It was like 90 degrees. That was the day MNG was demonstrating at the fair. So hot. So yeah, it was hot.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday we went to a baseball game. Like D-League team ball game. But it was fun because it was only like half an hour from our house. And there's really not a bad seat in the place because it's such a small ball league. And we had a good time.
Yup. Sunday was back-breaking.
Sunday, he worked on fixing my radio. My radio works. The little backup camera's missing a part.
I wired and soldered the thing throughout her entire car, got into the hole where the radio goes and went, where's the cable to plug this into the radio? Where's the adapter cable?
Yeah.
And it was, I was sore yesterday because I had to take half the panels inside of her car off.
Yeah. But you did good.
Yep. I put it back together again. It takes a lot of effort to rip those panels off. That's literally what you have to do is rip them off.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, it was kind of a slow week. There wasn't a whole lot going on. It is what it is. And yeah. So why don't we shout out our commenters?
Sarah, Ann, Bridget, Teresa.
Thank you so much for commenting on our videos. If it looks funky this week, drop a comment, because we don't have the overhead light on like we often do, but it's so so bright out still.
We're also lazy and don't want to get back up.
Yeah. I'm like, we probably don't need it. But if it does look funky, let us know, because then I will not be lazy next time and make sure to turn the light on as needed. Okay. Whips, did you do any stitching this week?
I didn't get around to it and then got distracted.
Well, it's okay. So I need to pull out my whips then. Let me find the whippage. You are not the whip I want. I know where it is. Hold, please. Okay. So I started the week with the Sow full coverage prompt, and I worked on my Stamped Heart Succulent Sow full coverage project, because doing a sea of white is much easier when you're doing it 300 stitches at a time. I did 302 stitches on this. This is just on a piece of, white 11 count Ada. The pattern is stamped right on the project, so I really don't even need the chart. I keep a chart because it makes counting easier, but I did like 10 rows here because it was 302 stitches. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. So, all I have left, all this blue has to be stitched in white, and that's all I have left. Actually, I think that's a lie. I do think there is a ninja stitch somewhere up in this corner I gotta find again. this is why we're putting this for the sale full coverage prompt, because doing all that white 300 stitches at a time is going to be a little more subdued for my insanity. And if I happen to blow through it real quick on a Monday because I'm not doing much, lately that hasn't been the case, I can do 600 stitches.
Excuse me.
But lately it has not been the case. I've been very busy lately.
Uh-huh.
Right. So for Friendship Week, International Friendship Day of Friendship Week, I pulled out Joe selected Porch Welcome as my project to work on for the week. I think we may actually have to pick 2 this week.
Do you want me to pick 2, or?
Yeah, it would be okay, because this week's
No, do you have 2 in mind?
well, when we get to that point, we'll discuss. I did 1,247 stitches on it. All of this. I had these leaves, these 2 leaves, those 2 leaves, that leaf. Cross stitched in, no back stitching on it when I started. So I did all of this jar stiff here. Counting back stitch is the bane of my existence. I hope I didn't kind of boink myself, because instead of doing French knots, I did beads. I can I think I have enough space to be able to get enough back stitching in here done so that when I put it in the hoop again to finish this side, I can put it past this. But yeah, I think I might have boinked myself. It'll be fine.
You like to stitch in hand too?
I do. This project's really challenging to stitch in hand because the fabric is kind of stiff.
Well,
this is on a 14 count oatmeal Aida.
the
prompts I use this for were that you can relate to friendship, that you have worked on video chat, an activity you can do with friends, and then whip of choice for how you've met your favorite people. And then I used my pass on Stitch on a Whip from a country that isn't your own, because I fit this on everything else.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. And Friday was the 1st, so we had a new month start. So we have a new monthly. You get to help me with...
Are we going to plans now?
No.
Okay.
I did the stitches for 2 prompts. We'll get the tie-in for them when we do plans. There's no rule that says I can't.
Okay.
Because I'm still trying to figure out the stocking to do for my one cousin's wife, I pulled out Greyhound Year by the Blue Flower, because I would like to finish this before the end of the year.
Keep this so we have it handy.
And I think if I use it for monthlies, I can finish it before the end of the year. I know I can, because I don't have that much left. This is on a piece of very random blue fabric that I could not replicate if I tried, on 32 count. So I did 622 stitches. I closed up the bottom of the November block. Words, leaves, started the turkey. So I basically have to finish the turkey and stitch the dog, back stitch the leaves. That's the November block. What I have left to do then is all of the December block, finish the November block, all of the December block, and these 6 diamonds get little critter things in them, and that's it. So yes, I should be able to finish this by the end of the year using it with monthlies. Then, I do have something else to show you that I did today. This morning, I went over to the Medina Library, and I have to make sure I have it the correct orientation because the Old English C looks very funky. I did the panel for my littlest niece for her tote bag. This isn't the order I wanted the colors in, but I have learned how the embroidery machine tells me what order they're going to do the colors in now. So now that I know that, any future projects will be a little bit easier. I have to pull off the excess interfacing and figure out what I did with Caitlin's. And then I started making projects for my decorating committee crew because I wanted to make cute little towels for them for Christmas this year. Here is towel number 1. Again, I have to pull off the excess. The bottom flower is different than the rest of the flowers because I ran out of thread on the spool that I had harvested from their extras at the library. There is a little bit of this flower that's a different color, but honestly, I don't think it looks bad.
No, it doesn't.
I think it's alright. These are also really big kitchen towels, y'all. Again, I have to pull off the excess interfacing because you use, it's not an iron-on stabilizer, but it's like an interfacing stabilizer, and it's tearaway, so I have to put this back. I forgot to put my flats back in there, and they're getting in the way.
I'll get this back when you're done. So keep the back handy.
And then I did one more towel, and this one was very interesting. This one is all one color. And I think it looks really cool. So, that's what I did today.
Yay!
Yeah.
I just wanted to say it at work.
So that was my morning. By the time I was done... Oh! When I did the first towel, this is funny. When I put the first towel in the hoop, I set the hoop up on the machine, thought I had everything nice and set up right, hit the button for it to start, it wouldn't start. Like, it would start, and then it, like, did the little error message sound, and it flashed an error message up, but it wouldn't leave it up for me to see what was wrong, to figure out what was wrong. So after about the third time, I went out to the desk and I said, this is what it's doing. I can't get the error message doesn't stay up so I can see what's wrong. Can you help me? Maybe figure out what's going on. So the gals were like, yeah, we'll come. So actually one of the gals was like, well, hey, and she got up, and one of the other gals who knows more about the machine came over to help. So all three of us are standing there looking at it like we have absolutely no idea what's wrong with it. Well, the one gal, when she went to look at it, moved, there was a piece of fabric underneath, like, just under the very edge of the hoop. She moved that when she was looking to figure out what was wrong, and then the machine started, and she goes, I bet that was the problem. I said, and we determined that must have been the problem, was that it sensed that the hoop wasn't in there right, so it was...
Yeah, that would be something you want to make sure is right.
I mean, it would have been nice if I would have totally probably figured it out, but the machine wouldn't leave the error message up, and so when I did the second one, I made sure everything was clear. Not a problem. So that's what I did today. Haul, we went shopping over the weekend. So Saturday we went on a little adventure.
I got two things. One, it is a model mat. There's a picture of what it's going to look like. So that way, when I drop a screw, there are edges to stop the screw from going halfway across a carpeted room.
Yeah.
I might have had problems with that in the past. And then I was looking at something, drooling over it. Somebody's like, do you really want it? And let me buy.
Another Gundam kit.
More Gunpla. And this one's awesome looking. So I gotta get some time this week to do that. I don't think I'm gonna stitch. I might take my stitch with me this weekend. But I'm gonna try to get some Gunpla in this week.
Yes. Well, we have MNG Wednesday night, so.
Yeah, I usually don't stitch on those because my brain's fried by that point.
Yes, okay. So, allow me to preface this with, it's back to school tax holiday for 2 weeks in Ohio. A lot of people were very impressed that Ohio does 2 whole weeks. A couple people that I talked to were really impressed with Ohio does 2 whole weeks. And it is like everything. The only thing it excludes is motor vehicles. So anything you have to go to the Bureau of Motor Vehicle and get a license plate for and a title for, exclude it. Doesn't include, like, parts for your automobile. I don't think it excludes, like, parts for your automobile or, like, maintenance stuff for your automobile. Because Dad said he went to the store and bought something for one of the vehicles to maintenance. He didn't pay tax on it. But anyways, and it excludes alcohol and tobacco. So I got some quilt batting. Some blanket biting to fix a boo-boo on something that I made. And I broke one of my tape runners, so I got to get a new one. And I had to get the quilt batting because, do you remember last month after MNG when I brought home, I had those fabric panels that I showed you that were like the really cute fabric Christmas books?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was 2 books on the Santa Claus one and 4 books worth on the Nativity one. I had hoped to finish books for my 2 cousins that are going to be at the family reunion this weekend that have littles to finish those. I don't think I'm actually going to get it done, but we'll see. I need to get stitching done tonight, so I may or may not get up there to stitch. And then we went to the craft adhesive place.
I got a funny story about the fabric place.
Because, oh yeah, I forgot the fabric place bag. Where is that?
I don't know. I'll tell my story while you look. We were walking in there, and there was fabric, and I wound up getting myself some fabric. Well, I got it for her to finish something for me. And I looked at her, I'm like, oh my God, you have basic, just plain colors. And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, Joann's didn't have basic colors. Everything was a pattern. Like, I actually looked at one of the ladies like, do you have anything from Corolla? Or what's it called?
Corolla.
Crayola?
Crayola.
From Crayola? You know, the 16-count Crayola?
Wow, we both just brainstallled that one.
Yeah, I mentioned that and got a couple of laughs. So
yes.
Like, just give me 16-count Crayola, please.
So,
but they had basic colors. I was so happy.
Before we went to the fabric store, we went to the craft adhesive store that's over in Medina. And I know you guys have seen the shirts I made with it. Some of you have seen some other things I've done with it. I was not going to buy a random iron-on, but I saw this and I had to buy it. And I thought, before I put it on the shirt, because a lot of people ask me how this works, before I put it on the shirt, I would show you guys what the DTF sheet looks like. This is all it really is. So it's printed. This is the back side. This is the side that lays down on the shirt. You iron it. This comes off. There's a few steps with it, but this says just a girl who loves country music. And there's a guitar on it. There's not a boot on it.
And
someone said they saw a boot on it. There's not a boot on it. And sunflowers. I actually was over there looking for something very specific, and I couldn't find it, which doesn't make sense to me because they have smaller versions of the logo, of the Blue Jackets hockey logo, but I want a shirt size one, and they didn't have any. And I can't find the file to make the shirt size one in their website of stuff you can order from. So I think I have found where I can get the correct file type of it and upload it to them and get it printed. I also got some vinyl adhesive and a sweatshirt and a shirt for this. I'm not going to pull that all out and show you. At said fabric store, we got black fabric for the back of Joe's choo-choo train panel.
You have no idea how happy I am for it to just be black.
I got the adhesive for the batting. If you quilt, you know what this is for. The whole reason we went to the fabric store, the quilting fabric store, is because the All Ohio Quilt Shop Hop is this month. The Shop Hop, I believe, was in existence before the tax-free 2 weeks. So I think it just is coincidence, but not pro-planning on that. But every year they do like a special quilt panel for the Shop Hop. This is this year's. It says Beautiful Ohio. It's the shape of Ohio. It's got some Ohio things around it. The Buckeye State. I am going to get some blue, red, white, and blue fabric. Make a nice little border. Make a nice little like border on it. And do some quilting on it. Eventually, when I get that far. I just had to get the panel. Like, it was too pretty. I know. And then, of course, she was like, well, do you want last year's if you don't normally do the hop? Because I don't, because I've only just started getting into the quilting thing. I said, well, what's last year's look like? And she showed me, and I said, sure, why not?
It was discounted, actually.
It was discounted. It was half off. So I'm like, sure, why not? Because it's really pretty. And it's actually really simple to come up with something to quilt with this. So it says Ohio. It's got a tractor that's the wrong color.
And she thought that was hysterical.
Yes. And a covered bridge, and a red barn.
And a plane.
And the biplane.
The plane, the plane.
Because Ohio is the birthplace of flight.
Yeah, Ohio had the people crazy enough to put a couple pieces of wooden fabric under their butts and fly off a high cliff.
Because the Wright brothers were born in Ohio. So yes, it was a bit of an expensive weekend.
I got one other thing, but there's no real point showing you off. It's just a ball cap.
He got a baseball cap at the ball game.
One, I've been wanting a hat forever, and it's actually... And usually you find nice ones at ball games. They're overpriced as sin, but at least it's really good quality.
Yeah, so that was haul. There probably will be haul next week because MNG night is Wednesday night, but I'm not going to pay for any of that haul, so we spent a lot of money this week.
You'll be okay.
I don't want to look at the checking account.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be buying something for you here shortly anyway.
Yes. All right.
Plans?
You said you wanted to...
Do some gum blood, maybe a little bit of stitching. I'm going to take the stitching with me down to the lake. So if I'm bored, I'm going to stitch.
I don't have my pencil. There's a pen, though. There you go. Okay. Well, let's start with the weekly. The theme is embroidery hoops. How cool is that? Like, that's kind of a fun theme. So, let me go through all of them first. Stitch on a project that you are using with a hoop or Q-snap. There's quite a few of them that fall into this category, so we have some choices on that. Stitch on your largest project. Stitch on a project that you feel is very popular because you've seen other stitchers working on the same project.
That one you're going to have to... That one, those last two you're going to have to do.
Yes. Stitch on a whip that contains an object with handles. Stitch on a whip that could be finished and displayed in a hoop. So those are my 5 prompts. Now, I narrow this down a bit. We have a pass for at least one of them.
Okay.
My largest project is Glory in the Morning. My whip that could be finished or displayed in a hoop is Come All You Faithful.
Okay, do those two. Write them down.
Hold on. One of those two will get the pass, by the way.
Huh?
I believe one of these two will get the pass, or either the largest or the can be displayed in a hoop.
Oh, number 2 is...
Number 2 is the largest project.
Okay, I understood that. Okay.
Okay, so stitch on a project that you were using with a hoop or a Q-snap. When I got to, okay, here it is. Number 3, stitch on a project that you feel is very popular because you've seen other stitchers work on it. We can do Patriotic Picnic. She's a pretty popular designer. Though I haven't really seen other people working on that particular. I see all of hers. I actually haven't seen Sunflower Fairy by Nora Corbett stitched on by a lot of people, so I don't know that I would call that a popular...
I was going to say it's Nora Corbett.
Popular project. I'm reading this as it's kind of got to be something you see a lot of the project.
Okay.
I mean...
Can't we just skip that one then and do the other 4?
We can skip that one. Because stitch on a whip that contains an object with handles. Patriotic Picnic has a truck. Truck doors have handles. Harvest Hall has a truck. Truck doors have handles.
What is Come All You Faithful have on it?
It's a church. There's door handles on the church.
Churches have a lot of handles.
However, I don't stitch on that with a hoop or a Q-snap. Well,
isn't that your largest though?
My largest one I could throw into that too. Alright, so that completely changes what I was thinking. We'll pass on this one. And we'll do
there we go. And now we need to do the monthly.
Yes, that was good. We worked that one out. Okay. So now we need to do the monthly. The monthly acrostic for this month is Paper Piece. There are 3 P's and 3 E's in Paper Piece. Now, I do have one thing to help us out.
What?
The pop-up that I did with the froggy pond earns me a pass earns me a free pass for the monthly. So there's one monthly I get to skip.
Okay.
Now, there is one very obvious advantage to this. And I didn't actually plan this. I didn't realize when I said I was going to work on this for the August monthly that this was that was the theme. That Paper Piece was, and its challenging amount of letters. There are letters stitched on this.
Well, I was going to do P as puppers.
That was one of my P's that I thought of.
A, animal.
There's pumpkin. There's a letter P.
The pumpkin works.
There's E's on here. There's an egg on there. There's ears.
There, we have all 3 E's. Rain.
Rain. And then the last P.
Skip that one for now.
Okay.
Oops.
I. Well, the last P, we haven't done letter P's yet, so we can do the letter P's. I. Frankly, with this, we can default to the letters because the letters.
There are no I's.
April has an I in it.
I did not notice that. Yeah, we're...
C.
It's actually a flask, not a cup.
It's a mug, it's a cup. That's a mug. With a hot cocoa.
Cap. Or July, that's more of a cap. And November has a cap on him too, CAB. And he has a Christmas hat. Or a cap.
Christmas hat. I would call those hats not a cap.
What's the difference?
A cap is like the,
Also, there's a letter C right there.
I was going to say, there's C's all over the place.
By the way, I thought of another P, actually. But we're...
Oh.
Presents.
Oh, yeah. Look, at least one of these is going to get the free pass.
Okay. Here's this back.
Okay. Well, that's plans. I have to find where I buried your bag. I'll do that in a minute. So, you've seen our whips, you've seen our haul, you've heard our plans. What would we like these wonderful folk to do?
Have a lovely week. Have a good time. Please like, comment, subscribe, bell thing, all the YouTube please like us stuff.
Please and thank you.
Please.
We hope you had a good time with us. We hope you were entertained. We hope you enjoyed yourself. We hope you come back next week. And until next week, we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.